York City just made a move the rest of the country should be watching closely. The city has adopted a new energy conservation code and existing building code, bringing mandatory air leakage testing and backup electric heating requirements into the mainstream. This will affect tens of thousands of renovation projects and sends a clear message. Efficiency and resilience are no longer optional, especially in dense, high-risk markets. Historically, moves by New York and California tend to ripple across the industry. Hi, I'm Katie O'Keefe, and welcome to This Week in Sustainability. Let's get into what's shaping housing right now. Representative Jeff Crank has introduced the Framer Act, which aims to cut regulations to reduce construction costs and make homes more affordable. Many of the standards targeted by the bill are tied to energy efficiency, durability, and long-term performance. Rolling them back may lower upfront costs, but could leave buyers paying more over time through higher utility bills, maintenance, and insurance. At the heart of the debate is a key question. Is affordability about first cost, or is it about total cost of ownership? Green Builder Media co-founder Ron Jones addresses this attempt to slash regulations. He argues that in times of real consequence, hypocrisy and cowardice often travel together. Ron lays it out far more powerfully than I can, so let's go to him.
It's double talk from the industry, because every single industry in the world thinks that they're the most overregulated, persecuted, punished, and disadvantaged industry in the history of life. And it's nonsense, because what they're doing is substituting the real cost of home ownership over time with this first transaction, the upfront cost. So they're substituting affordability for what is really profitability. On the part of the administration, they made a mistake by not emphasizing that what they're talking about is value, home value. Everybody wants to talk about price. Everybody wants to talk about cost. The real issue is value, long-term value that helps to build family wealth and strengthen the financial ability of families.
It was widely reported in the mainstream press that several major home builders, including Lennar and Taylor Morrison, are backing a new housing concept branded as Trump Homes, aimed at affordability through a mix of lower-cost construction and rent-to-own pathways. The idea is to make home ownership accessible to buyers who can't qualify for a traditional mortgage today by allowing them to rent first, with the option to purchase later. Supporters say the model could expand access in a tight housing market. We urge caution. Rent-to-own models have a mixed track record, and affordability concerns don't stop at the purchase price. Energy costs, insurance premiums, maintenance, and long-term performance still determine whether a home is truly affordable over time. And how many of these people will convert from the rental option to home ownership after a 3-year window? Notably, when asked for details, the main actors didn't add much clarity and may even be walking the idea back. According to Keith Griffith at Realtor.com, a Taylor Morrison representative said the plan isn't something Taylor Morrison worked on and shouldn't be positioned as such. Lennar declined to comment, and Bloomberg News reports the White House says it is not actively considering the plan. We'll keep an eye on this one for you. The newly released METROPOLIS Interface U.S. Sustainable Design Report 2026 offers a clear signal of where architecture and design are headed. The key takeaways include: 1. Sustainability is no longer aspirational, it's expected. 2. Performance is beginning to outweigh aesthetics, with resilience and durability driving decisions. And 3. Climate reality is reshaping priorities now, not later, especially when it comes to envelopes, passive strategies, and long-term livability. You can explore the full report at metropolismag.com. On a lighter note, check out Green Builder Magazine Editor-in-Chief Matt Power's latest video highlighting a cost that many first-time home buyers overlook when purchasing an existing home. And if you like this kind of practical, buyer-friendly content, visit the Today's Home Buyer section at greenbuildermedia.com.
Let's talk about the hidden costs of buying an older home. One of the big ones you might not have thought about: tree removal.
Watch that branch swing. Got it. Pulling clear. Good. Next one up top.
You know, the thing about tree removal is it's not really that gratifying. You know, you got rid of the tree. Maybe you plant a new one because your green side feels guilty, but you didn't really gain a lot. In fact, at least one of your neighbors now hates your guts and will never forgive you.
I love this tree. It symbolized everything good about this neighborhood.
So what's a winning strategy with tree removal? The only answer is preemptive. You need to get the seller of the property to remove the trees before you move in. Let them pay for their deferred maintenance over the last 40 years. You can move in and have other things to worry about.
The EPA is signaling a rollback of proposed limits on fine particulate pollution standards that public health experts say are critical for respiratory health, especially during wildfire and extreme heat events. As outdoor air protections soften, buildings increasingly become the last line of defense. That puts more pressure on envelopes and ventilation systems to protect occupants, reinforcing that healthy buildings may have to compensate for weaker public standards. In a related story, USGlass Magazine argues that building envelopes are about efficiency and survival, and says that in addition to wildfire smoke and heat, cold snaps and grid outages overcome poorly designed envelopes and leave occupants exposed to dangerous indoor conditions when systems go down. In extreme events, indoor temperatures can become life-threatening in a matter of hours. The takeaway is stark. Homes that can't maintain safe conditions without constant power are fragile by design. U.S. Glass has a new moniker for the building envelope, dubbing it as life safety infrastructure. We'll see if that term sticks, but at any rate, the industry needs to assess its building envelope offerings. Exciting news out of Texas. A 3D printed housing community is coming online, signaling a real shift in how homes could be built. Projects like Zuri Gardens point to faster build times, less material waste, and new ways to address labor shortages at a moment when the industry is under intense pressure to deliver more quickly and affordably. How will 3D printing change timelines, cost structures, design flexibility, and long-term performance as it starts to scale? We'll keep you posted as this exciting case study comes to life. Our cognition hot take this week may surprise you. ESG is quietly winning. Despite political backlash and acronym fatigue, ESG is not fading. In fact, it's embedding itself deeper into how companies compete. Cognition Smart Data shows that 74% of consumers have stopped buying from a company due to sustainability concerns, and 8 out of 10 respondents believe ESG-driven companies deliver a higher quality product. While politicians argue semantics, consumers are making decisions with their wallets. ESG has become the invisible backbone of corporate strategy across nearly every sector. Want to tell your company's ESG story clearly and credibly? Explore the free Cognition ESG Toolkit on our website. A few calendar notes here. The 2026 Next Generation Water Summit returns to Santa Fe on June 13. Ready to tackle water challenges across the Southwest. Visit nextgenerationwatersummit.com to get your early bird pricing. In case you missed it, visit our webinar archive in our knowledge base section and view our very popular How to Sell Healthier Homes webinar, available on demand. Moderated by Editor-in-Chief Matt Power, the session offers practical tips on turning building science into clear, compelling buyer messaging. Our latest Green Builder magazine issue has gone live. You can download it for free at Knowledge Base on our site. It's a great issue highlighting the winners of our annual Sustainable Home of the Year program. This news wrap-up drops every Wednesday, except next week because the Green Builder Media team will be at Design and Construction Week in Orlando, and we really hope to see you there. We'll be back on February 25th with insights straight from the show floor, as well as from the Reclaiming Affordability event we're hosting there with some of the biggest stakeholders in the housing industry. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and help us grow this network.
Before you click away, make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. And don't miss the daily coverage on sustainability, housing, and what's next for home building at greenbuildermedia.com. Stay informed, stay ahead.